So it's been over a week now, and I've really tried to wrap my mind around what I witnessed last week with Game of Thrones, or better yet, what I didn't witness for 6 weeks from Game of Thrones. I mean, I really don't know how to say anything that hasn't, or what to say that hasn't already been said. Um, we waited 2 years for that. It's so much stuff y'all didn't do. It's so much stuff y'all left out, and it's so much stuff that y'all rushed in an almost disrespectful kind of a way. You know, people are saying, oh man, let it go. You signing petitions and whatever, whatever. I feel like this though because people have a right to be kind of thrown. You know, because if you've been watching Game of Thrones for the last 10 years, like I have, for 7 years, you don't do something good, do something right for 7 years, and all of a sudden the eighth year, you just get it a little bit wrong. Actually, you got it so wrong that 2 million people are willing to say do that shit over again. It ain't just me. I watched episode 1. That was cool. I watched episode 2. That was cool. I knew episode 3 and episode 5 were big because part of my vested interest in the show is to watch YouTube videos, theory videos, reaction videos, even just the stuff that happened on the show. I watched a lot of that stuff when I had time, man. Hours and hours of it. I mean, to just disregard everything, man. Like, Jon Snow, man. Even though I was definitely going for Daenerys the last few years. Big time Dragon fan, love Daenerys, but your Clark. I could understand if Jon ended up on the throne. I can understand that. It had a logic to it. Bran being on the throne. Doing things for the shock value. I mean, we as Americans, we as people, we're not new to that concept. But if you're gonna do something for shock value, keep it the same quality at least as what you've been doing. It's like there's TV and there's movies. And Game of Thrones left TV way behind. It's like being up in the game at, you might well say, the end of the fourth quarter at this point, and you're up by 50 in basketball. In the last 7 or 8 minutes, you just give the whole game away, right back to the movies. I was actually glad to see that the weekend of the Battle for Winterfell was the same weekend as Endgame. And one of the things that I've been saying, man, if you know me, I've been saying for the last 7, 8 years, Game of Thrones is a weekly movie. That's how good it is. Well, I made a promise, so I didn't see Endgame that weekend, but I did see, of course, Game of Thrones. I ain't gonna miss it. Battle for Winterfell. I'm even hyping it up. Biggest battle ever on TV and film. Bigger than Helm's Deep on Lord of the Rings. The biggest battle ever, right? And it was good. But it was good. And that's it. Even the end of it with Arya. Arya's the hero? Arya? I mean, when that episode ended, loud as I cheered, and as hype as I was, my heart finally settled down. I knew the show was fucked up at that point. When Jon, it was silly that the Night King would smile at Daenerys. We got silly. Then Jon doesn't sword fight the Night King. The Night King raises a bunch of dead whites that don't even fight Jon. I don't even want to talk about coffee cups and water bottles. To me, it just adds to it. You know, it just adds to the madness of what we just witnessed, what I just saw, and what I didn't see. I hate saying what I saw because it's what I didn't see that's killing me. Um, it's not all bad though, because I really do believe these are great actors and actresses. Um, I do. I think it's a great crew. I think the cinematography, film crew did great. I think makeup and everything was great. CGI was great. I mean, the dragons, best looking dragons I've ever seen. But this shit starts at the very, very top and stops right there at the very, very top. And I'm gonna throw George R. Martin in there too because it's his shit. Start with HBO number one. Uh, Dan and Dave number two, and then George R. Martin only because he kind of can't think of the word, but he took himself out of it for the last three seasons. It ain't been based on the actual books since season 5. 6, 7, and 8 was like written. It's really disappointing. It really is. It makes you not want to watch whatever's coming for Game of Thrones. It makes you not want to invest and trust in a different set of writers. Um, and here's another thing too. And I really hope this is not true because I could totally see where it would be and could be. I am a huge Star Wars fan. Came out the year I was born. I've never loved a trilogy, or I don't know what you call it, a dual trilogy or triple trilogy more. It is everything to me. And to know that the same people that just messed up Game of Thrones have been awarded, basically knighted, with the privilege of writing Star Wars. There just can't be coffee cups and water bottles in Star Wars. You know, it just can't be a bad plot, man. Y'all can't mess up Star Wars. You shouldn't have messed up Game of Thrones. But you can't mess up Star Wars. I mean, how do you get to rush Game of Thrones, which is, you know, arguably one of the best shows of all time, and then go off and do one of the greatest movie franchises of all time? I mean, so they're not directing the one that's coming out in December. The one in December, that's not them. It's going to be the next 3 apparently, or the next 1 or whatever after that. I'm not sure the number of films, but if Star Wars sucks, the first one they do, I'm gonna be even more hurt. I'm gonna be even more pissed off, and I'm not gonna trust them or their teaming up on anything ever again. The only reason I'm gonna watch the Star Wars is because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. If I weren't a huge Star Wars fan, I probably wouldn't really give a crap. You know, I'd give a crap about Game of Thrones still, but Star Wars, I'd be like, whatever. But I've been toiling over this, and I've been thinking maybe I should go back and watch the season again. This is the first season of Game of Thrones I have not been able to go back and watch the episodes. It doesn't make sense. These aren't the characters that I've been following. This is not what I thought I would see after waiting for 2 years. Your quality is there, but the quality of your characters suffered greatly. I'm not even subscribing to HBO, so I had the dilemma: do I want to stop using it? But I'm not paying for it. So on that end, it's like, you know, hey, thank you. But on the other hand, it's like, I had signed the petition. I haven't seen the petition yet, but I had totally signed it just because I wouldn't mind. I don't mind having my voice be part of the voice that says, we know what you did, we don't appreciate it, and we're very likely not to trust you or HBO again because of you. And that's the real. You blew faith. You came all this way to break faith. I mean, take a line from Daenerys Targaryen herself. We came all the way. You brought us all the way from 10 years ago to now to break faith in the greatest show that's ever been on television. How's Spike supposed to trust you? I mean, you make it harder for other material coming out that y'all ain't even on. Like, I can't even see me investing in another show. I always talk about Game of Thrones prequels and stuff. I don't have any interest. I may in a year. I don't even know if I want to go see the Game of Thrones concert this year. Now, just because of how they did the final season. That alone is making me not want to go see. And I went to the last one, September. Anticipating the final season. Took my girlfriend, got her binging Game of Thrones, and we went to the concert, had a good time. She even got spoilers of the concert, but she still binged. She was a trooper. And she didn't realize what was happening after that third show. I knew it, and I didn't want to say it. I said they got 3 more shots. They got episode 4, 5, and 6. They can wrap this up tight with a beautiful bow. And I trust that they will do that. Episode 4. Okay. 2 more shots. Episode 5. Okay. Kind of saw it coming. Kind of hoped it wouldn't go that direction. And then episode 6. Like a guy said from a video I just watched, my bar was so low by episode 6. I could just kind of take whatever they put in the episode, because by the time episode 6 came, I was already kind of where I am now. I just had one last shot, one last glimmer of hope. And why should I have that after waiting 2 years with this budget, these actors, these writers, these producers, this network? I had to have hope. My bar was low. I'm severely disappointed. Millions of people are severely disappointed. And you get to go do Star Wars. Since that's your next project, D&D, I have to wish you the absolute best, because that is my all-time favorite franchise. I'm begging y'all not to mess up Star Wars. I'm sure I'll be okay. We will survive this like we survive everything else. But I just have to get this off my chest. I can't really watch episode or season 8. Don't really want to. That's disappointing, because I usually spend the whole time between seasons of Game of Thrones watching Game of Thrones. I mean, there's not another show in my life that I've watched as much, or rewound as much, or broken down as much. Watched the reaction videos, watched the theory videos, started reading the books. I'm in the 3rd book. I had to put it down a couple months ago, but I mean, I enjoy reading the book, and I know the books can't end this way. Books can't end this way, and that's going to be the moral of the story. Read the books. But anyway, I'll probably do another video too, like everybody else, doing more videos, just because this is one way to express what we're experiencing right now. But it's good to know I'm not the only one, and I swear, Star Wars, not one cup, not one water bottle, and it better be absolutely perfect.